Hi, I'm the flower garden girl with the garden duo. Today we're going to talk about bulbs. The weather is changing and it's getting cold. It's time to get our bulbs in the ground. Oh crap, winter's almost here. Ugh, winter's coming. The snow, the ice, freezing cold. Ew. Definitely not ready for winter yet. The best part of winter is when it's over. When the gray is gone and the green starts to poke up out of the ground. Yay, my bulbs are growing! This year, I am planting lots of different kinds of bulbs. I am planting tulips, narcissus, also known as daffodils, allium, and anemones. Try saying that 5 times fast. Bulbs are awesome because they take little work and they're very resistant. They're resistant to bugs and pests as well as deer. Crocus are some of the first things that sprout in the spring. I love to plant crocus, not because they're good for cutting, because they're actually not really good for cutting because they're so short, but I love to plant them because they give me hope that winter is almost over. Daffodils are awesome because as they grow each year, they start to produce their own bulbs. So by 2 or 3 or 4 years, you'll have double the amount of bulbs that you started with. Then you can come in later and split those bulbs. We'll do another video about that later. Let's talk about when to plant your bulbs. It's going to be different for everyone based on your zone. However, what you need to know is that you should plant it 5 to 6 weeks before your ground is going to freeze. Why you need to plant 5 to 6 weeks before your ground freezes is because bulbs need an opportunity to go through a process called stratification. Stratification is the process where the warming and cooling of the bulb tells it to wake back up. If you live in zones 8 through 11, which is the southern part of the United States, your ground is not going to get cold enough for stratification, so you will have to force this process to happen. To do that, you'll leave your bulbs in the bag that you bought them in, and you'll put them in your refrigerator. You'll leave them there for 8 to 10 weeks, and that will tell the bulbs that it's cold. Then you'll plant them in your ground, and they'll grow like normal. Who doesn't love fruit? I'll tell you who doesn't: bulbs. If you're storing your bulbs in the fridge, make sure that you don't store them near fruit. The gases from the fruits will kill your bulbs. Let's start talking about where to plant bulbs. When looking for a spot for your bulbs to be planted, you need to think about how much sun that area of your yard will get. So tulips need at least full sun, so that's 6 hours of sun. Daffodils only need partial sun, which is 4 to 6 hours. So if you look right here, I have funny pipe coming out of the ground. That is where we will be planting trees. Underneath trees is a great place for daffodils to grow. When your daffodils are growing, your trees won't have leaves yet. By the time your trees' leaves start to come back, your daffodils will be just about done growing. Not all of us have a huge plot of land with acres and acres to use for planting flowers, but use what you have. You can get a lot of bulbs in a small area. Finding areas in your yard that you typically couldn't plant stuff, like under a tree. So you can see right here, I have a spot marked off with these flags. It's important to mark off your area with flags so that once everything's in the ground, you know where you planted what. Okay, we prepared our soil. If you would like to know how to prep your soil, watch this video right up here. Let's talk about how to plant. When you're ready to plant, you're gonna dig a trench. Here we have a trench already dug out for us. When trenching gets you tired, ask someone for help. Your trench needs to be 2 to 3 times the height of your bulb. So imagine 3 of these stacked on top of each other. A 2-inch bulb, you need a 6-inch trench. You're going to take your bulbs and you're going to just place them in pointy part up. You want to put your tulip bulbs as close as eggs are in an egg carton. Not touching, but very close together. If you're doing daffodils, you want to place them as close as they are wide. So if you take your bulb like this and it's this wide, you'll want to space them this far apart. That's for daffodils. Once you have your bulbs placed in your trench, you can go ahead and bury it. If you want to fertilize your bulbs, wait until the spring. During the fall, they're dormant. They're not doing much of anything. And so if you put fertilizer on them, nothing really is going to happen. So you'll want to wait until you can see the little green poking out of the ground in the spring. That's when you know that the roots are actually working down underneath the ground and it can absorb your fertilizer. Let me tell you a few things that I look for when I am choosing bulbs. Okay, when I'm looking at what kind of bulbs I want to buy, I look at a few different things. I look to see if it says anything about cut flowers. If it's good for cut flowers, it usually means that the stems are longer. I also look for when it blooms. You want to get a good variety of some blooming in early spring, some in mid-spring, some in late spring, and some even in the summer. Second, I look at the height. You want to find something that has a good stem length to make sure that you have room to work with it in your vase. Final tip, where to buy your bulbs from. You can buy them at big box stores locally, or you can buy them online. The reason why I love to buy my bulbs online is because there's multiple places that will ship them to you when it's time to plant. Remember, you plant based on your zone. On these sites, you can buy them whenever and they'll ship them to you when it's your time to plant. Now that your bulbs are all covered, you just wait. Winter will be long, but soon enough you'll see your bulbs poking through the ground. If this video was helpful, make sure you like, subscribe, and share.